Okay, to cry out is a phrasal verb, and again, most phrasal verbs mean two things, or three things, or four things. It's really hard sometimes to know what a phrasal verb means. Here, we're going to use this phrasal verb, which we can find in chapter 1 of David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. The phrasal verb to cry out. We're going to use it in a literal way. A lot of times phrasal verbs can have an abstract definition and then a very literal definition. And what I mean by that is you can look at the words cry and out and maybe guess what it means. And in this way, it kind of means like yell or scream, if we look at the literal way to use cry out. So let's use it that way. Okay, John fell down the stairs and he was hurt very badly, and there were no people around to help him. So he screamed. He yelled for help. We can use cry out here, and we can say he cried out for help when he fell down the stairs. Help me! He cried out for help. Let's change some information. Let's use the phrase a doctor. He cried out. He cried out for a. He cried out for a. He cried out for a doctor when he fell down the stairs. He cried out for a doctor when he fell down the stairs. Let's change more information. Let's say when he was having a heart attack. He cried out for a doctor when he was having a heart attack. When he was having a heart attack. He cried out for a doctor when he was having a heart attack. Cried out for a doctor when he was having a heart attack. Let's see here. Let's try another example. We have the protesters in front of the government building were angry. All of them were yelling and screaming for justice. Yelling and screaming. We can use cry out here. Crying out for justice. They were angry and they were crying out for justice. They were angry, so they were crying out for justice. Let's change a word. Let's say peace. Where would you put that? Crying out for peace. Peace. They were crying out for peace. They were angry, so they were crying out for peace. Let's change another word. Enraged. Enraged means really angry. So if you're enraged, you're really, really angry. Where would you change? What word could you change in that sentence? They were enraged. They were really angry, so they were crying out for peace. They were enraged, so they were crying out for peace. Let's change another word. Let's use he. He was. He was enraged, so he cried out for peace. He was enraged, so he cried out for peace. So Hadi Hassan says, groan, grumble, whimper, sad, groaning sound. Do you know, here when I hear that word moan, it's to me that's like kind of like a ghost sound. That's moaning. And so when you bemoan something, that's like, oh, this is so horrible. I hate this. That's really what bemoaning means to me. So when you say bemoaning the death of loved one, that means, oh, I'm so sad that somebody's dead. That's how I would imagine that word, bemoaning, because moaning is the sound of like a ghost. Ooh. So bemoaning a loved one. Oh, it's so sad. That's bemoaning. All right. Now we are moving. How many more do we have? We just have like 3 more words and then we're done with this. This has been, I'm kind of happy that a lot of people, I wasn't expecting anyone to be here today. So I'm happy with my 5 or 6 viewers that I have today. Because I'm going to cut these up. So when I finish this, I'll cut them up and we'll have like 30 different little short exercises that we can do. But it's kind of nice that I've got some people watching. Cry out, wolves. I'm not sure, Hadi Hassan, I'm not sure what you mean by cry out wolves. The plural of wolf is wolves, but can you elaborate on that? All right. But while you're elaborating on that, I'm going to move on to our next vocabulary word,